This is thy kingdom come. Let the spirit of the Holy One pass over. Let your peace cover the earth. Lord, let your will be done. This is the time to take a stand, to let the world know that you can. You can face tomorrow, but today is the day that you say, I will reign. I will reign.
Starts now. This week's episode is sponsored by Dollhouse of Tampa Salon and Studio. Find your inner doll. They offer quick weaves, sew-ins, and much, much more to fit every occasion. Need a wig? Selena's got you. She will customize a unit just for you. Book your next appointment on Booksy today. Did someone say nails? Honey, forget the Bayhive. Contact Queen Bee herself. She offers customized designer nails and even designer press-ons that she will customize and ship to you. Braids, and even twists. Book with Tiffany right on Facebook. Find your inner doll at Dollhouse Tampa Salon and Studio. Tampa. This week's episode is sponsored by Hustle and Bling. It don't mean a thing if you ain't got that bling. Lovely paparazzi designer pieces for only $5. That's right, $5. And don't worry about it if the kid gets in the jewelry box. They're only $5. Make sure you catch Allison Mondays and Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays live on Instagram and Facebook, promoting some of these wonderful fashion fixes that you'll enjoy. And if you miss it, check out the website. Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that bling. Hustle and Bling.
Stay in Love TV is your production to distribution solution to getting your message seen and heard. Having your own TV show with Stay in Love TV has never been easier than now. Stay in Love TV gives you the power to share your message with the world. Stop watching TV and start being watched on TV. Stay in Love TV offers real-time multicasting, all with one click. This opportunity puts you on the world stage with an audience of over 200 million. In addition to your low monthly subscription fees, you will also receive monthly network coaching and training from the network itself to ensure that before your first show premieres, you are set up for success. We at Stay in Love TV bring over 20 years experience in sales, marketing, advertising, and business development. Stay in Love TV, purposeful entertainment driven by love, empowered with passion, fueled with faith. Go to www.stayinlovetv.com and let's get started.
This is thy kingdom come. Let the spirit of the Holy One pass over. Let your peace cover the earth. Lord, let your will be done. This is the time to take a stand, to let the world know that you can. You can face tomorrow, but today is the day that you say, I will reign. I will reign.
Hello, everyone. How are you? I am Vanessa Klinger, your intuitive life strategist and life coach motivator.
Namaste. I'm Michelle, your motivator and your spiritual evolutionist. Welcome into this energy on this satisfying Sunday. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh my gosh. The energy is like, woo.
Yes.
Co-host, it's like when you figured something out, it's like you have this kind of air about, people like, you, you, you know a secret, don't you? Well, not really. I just figured some things out. I just figured
Yeah.
some things out, and it's a wonderful place to be. Um, and welcome everyone to Spiritual Speaking and Awakening. Um, it is the dawn of the 4th of July, and in America, we celebrate Independence Day around here, and a lot of people partake in, getting intoxicated and then inebriated and all kinds of things. I know I've been getting intoxicated on cookies and cakes, and I've just been enjoying food. But all the while just staying in this space of gratitude and keeping my
Yeah.
vibration high, and because there's so much information just floating around out there and we don't really know. So I choose just to be in this space of just, okay, que sera, whatever will be, but I know I'm going to be in this state. This is the state of being where I'm going to reside, just in case. And
Yeah.
it's a much better place to be anyway. But it's so much going on. I mean, I'm just like, I'm on the edge of my seat, really. I
Yeah.
really am. Because it's like, okay, I mean, meditating, visualizing, affirming, all that great stuff. Um, and just like getting in position. I'm just getting in position because we chose to be here in this
Yeah.
age, in this time, for such a time as this. We chose to be a part of this
Yeah.
experience.
And we're equipped for it.
We're equipped for
So
it.
there's no need to worry or be stressed out or be
Nope.
depressed because you are equipped. They just tried to make you forget that you forgot who you were and
Hmm.
that you weren't equipped. And so they
Right.
put fear in to make you think that you're not prepared,
Yeah.
but you're actually prepared for everything. And once you get to that space and that place of understanding that this is just a journey and your bags have been packed with everything you need for each section of the journey that you're going to, then you kind of wipe out the stress and all the rest of the mess and you just begin to travel down that way that you're going.
And when you get to this state, it the Christ story, that's how he was able to walk in power and authority because he was such an elevated state
Mhm.
and his way of being and believing, and that's why it was written how he just appeared that to make miracles and all of that, but he was just walking in his power and authority. He was in such an elevated state, and that's why everything had to bend and move at his will.
Right. And we have that same power. And I think sometimes we don't acknowledge, or we think we've been told so long we're just a sinner saved by grace and we're a filthy rag and all of those things. And so from the outside influence of being pressed down to a depression state, this is the time for you to wake up. And the shift has always been happening. This is just not one major shift. The shift has already always been happening. You just haven't been aware that it's been happening. So now that you are aware that it's happening, then you can get in the flow of what's been set for us, what's been ordered for us, and what's been that place that we're going or our destination. we're
Mm-hmm.
we're so equipped, it's unreal. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're looking at stuff on the outside thinking, oh, what am I going to do about gas, what am I going to do about food, what am I going to do, asking all those questions. When you're already equipped with that, you need to be asking the question, where do I get what I'm supposed to get what I'm talking about getting. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah.
when you change, when you shift in how you're thinking, and knowing that your thinking comes from the inside, not the outside, and going to your heart instead of your head, then you begin to walk a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I didn't do anything but listen and absorb some teaching, get some revelations, relax, You always think you got to go, 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 go. You got to do. But sometimes you just need to stop and just listen to the silence. So I've done that all day.
That's fantastic. And I was reminded of one of the many millions of sermons I heard, but it was saying about how David knew how to talk to God. He was a man after God's own heart.
Mm-hmm.
And when you learn how to talk to the spiritual realm, when you learn how to talk to spirit, then that's how everything can be at your will. See, and and they conditioned us to forget who we were. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And what we were capable of,
Yeah.
and where we come from. But once you realize who you are, whose you are, and how equipped you are, and you devote the time what it takes to uh, renew your mind to be transformed so that you can know how to talk. See, so now I don't say, what am I going to do about this? I say, align me with this experience to provide me what I need to supply this, or align me with this, or align me to this, align me to where I need to tap in. I just start commanding. And
Yeah.
that's commanding. Align me, assist me, guide me,
Yeah.
usher me.
He said if you lack the wisdom, then you just ask. And so it's not asking for the thing, it's asking for the alignment of the energy that you get in that frequency. So once you're in the frequency, you're in the flow of how you're going to be going, in what direction you're going to be going. But if you get in that fear mode and start saying, why is this happening to me? Where is God? And you start asking the wrong questions. We should be asking questions, but we're asking the wrong question. Why did this happen to me? Why are they always, it's always in that negative,
Right.
and then you're going to get the negative. So
Right.
we have to ask the questions of solutions, not the questions for the problem.
Or have the answer.
Yeah.
Reveal
The
to me
solution is in you. It's already in you.
what the solution is. Right. Right. Align me with the solution.
Yeah.
I know that this is a part of my story. I know that I assisted before the foundation of the world, that I assisted with the development of this story for my ultimate good. So I ask you to align me.
Yeah. And I'm in agreement. And when two are agreeing, that's you and God. You don't have to have
Woo!
no outside agreement. That's the
Nothing.
majority.
That's
And
right.
it's already been sown into us.
Mm-hmm.
So what we must do is harvest what's been sown,
Right.
and get in the flow of more than enough,
Right.
than hardly enough, or can't get along, or barely getting along.
Right.
But we've been trained that way. And
Right.
so when you begin to reverse yourself, because this self that you see is not me. You can't see my real self. You just see a replica of a body that I'm walking in. But when we come out of the mirror looking at this with these, and go into that mirror that shows, reflects the inside out, then we'll be able to see better from here and not here,
Mm-hmm.
and walk completely out of the illusion, completely out.
Completely out. And you know, the interesting thing about when I know throughout the experiences that I've had, and I think about it, and I recall, that's why it's good that when you're going through experiences like this, that you are alone, because you don't want to be around somebody who gonna
In
be
the,
asking you,
yeah,
what
in the
you gonna do?
surgery.
How you gonna do that? Well, why don't you do this? Look, I don't need to hear that from you. So I just stopped telling folks.
Yeah.
I just stopped telling. How you doing? I'm doing amazing. All things are good. No, and I surrounded myself with the right support system.
Yeah.
That was the most important thing. When I started to recognize my support system. See, the thing is, when you humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, you're able to see, and he's able to show you your support system, your true support system. Once I did that and realized, and humbled myself, then I realized, oh, that's what my support is, because he said he would supply all of my needs according to his riches and in glory, and that he would lead and guide me. So
That's where, that's, you asked to get in line. They aligned me with that. And once I did that, then all my needs were met, right? Because now there is no past, present. It's just now. So right then and there, I had all of my needs were met. I was at peace. I was at rest. I was surrounded by love. That's all that matters.
Yes.
That's
That's
all that
that.
matters.
That's the unconditioned.
Yeah.
We come out of the condition to the
Yeah.
unconditioned,
Right.
and that's what we have to experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's that unconditioned. It's
Mm-hmm.
like God is not looking at anything but what He's looking at, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what you're a part of. He's
Right.
not judging you. He's not saying you. He's just in your alignment. And
Mm-hmm.
so he's reminding you of your alignment. He's trying to get you to receive, but you just will not do it because you're looking for something to see, and you're not going to see it out here.
Mm-mm.
Not the way that God has designed for you to see it. I mean,
Right.
we'll see the whole picture from the inside out, but out here we're just seeing pieces. And then when you only have pieces, then you worry about where you're going to get the next piece and the next piece. But when you're looking at something in a holistic way, you already have the whole.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. So we don't know the day nor the hour, but we do know the times and the seasons. That's been on my heart the last few days. We don't know the day or the hour. We know the times of the seasons. And I know we're in the days of Revelation, and that's what we're talking about this season. We're talking about the churches, 7 churches of Revelation, folks. And tonight we'll be taking a dive into Sardis. But we have a few minutes to recap. So we started out with Ephesus, and I did a little homework this weekend, co-host. Ephesus, actually, I cheated off someone else's paper, but uh, it's all good. Um, hardworking, Ephesus was hardworking, yet they began to lose their love for the work. Pergamos, they began to compromise, whereas this little sin was just going to be all right.
mm-hmm,
Thyatira, now I didn't know this. We were talking about Thyatira last week.
mm-hmm,
Thyatira was, they became apostate. They renounced. They were apostate. They renounced where they were. And I got to thinking about that. I said, you know what? Apostate means you turn away. And I said that could be
either
two
way.
ways you can look. Yeah, you can look at that both ways because I know I renounced a lot of things in the last 2 years.
Yeah. You were talking about earlier about detaching.
Mm-hmm.
We're so attached to what's not real that when what's real comes, we detach from it
Mm-hmm.
because we've been hypnotized into some unrealistic stuff. Even the beliefs. What if what you believe is not even true? Because
Right.
it's coming from an outside source and not an inside source. So we have all these conversations in our head that are not even our own conversation. They're somebody else's. And so, yeah, that could be both ways, detaching yourself from the mess, minding your own business.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right.
And it's so hard. It can be so hard to renounce things that you no longer believe because of your conditioning. However, he said, my sheep know my voice, and a stranger they will not follow. See, when you wake up from the delusion and the illusion of what was you were conditioned for so long,
Mm-hmm.
I just believe that if you are chosen, you chosen, you come out. You just do that. And there's gonna be some that don't. There are gonna be some that compromise. There are gonna be some that just throw the love out the window. There are gonna be some that are, when we're gonna be talking about Sardis tonight, they eventually just died. They gave up. And I was looking at that a different perspective too, because you were saying about how the 7 churches are levels of awareness in your mental state during your walk with God, your journey. And that first you start out, and then you're doing the work, you're doing all you need, then you
start to lose that love that you had, and then you start to compromise your walk, and then you just renounce. You just say, I'm done with it. I don't even have nothing to do with it. And then to the point where your heart is hardened and you're dead. And I was looking at that. I was like, wow. So
Yeah,
what are your thoughts?
um it can be 7 dimensions of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But this week, as I was just studying just any and everything, God was kind of revealing to me that we only think it's one earth, but there are different dimensions of earth. There are heavens and there are earths. And so the churches could be 7. It says 7 churches, could be 7 different earths of how people have walked through that journey that they're taking, because we're not just dealing with one earth, and everyone thinks it's just one earth, but God is so vast and he has a multiplicity of things. And that was just dropped in my spirit, that there are more than one earth. So there's more ways, because every time we're leveling up, we're moving to a different earth, we're moving to a different dimension. So when we're talking about a new earth, I think there are going to be new earths, because God didn't make all of us one way. He made of us different ways. And what we're trying to do is combine everybody in one way. It's multiple ways, because God is multiple. So these 7 churches could be 7, the way they were acting or journeying on different earths, different dimensions, different minds. And so every time I think I've gotten to a point where, okay, this is what it is, God opens up another door and takes me a little higher. So I think we have to stop limiting or putting God in a box and saying, this is what this is, because he always goes higher. And if you're not going higher, that means you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying. And so we have to begin to go higher and see it in a different way, because what if it is 7 earths, 8 earths, 9 earths? They're different planets. So why would there just be one earth? So that's kind of where I was today, this week.
Very good.
Seeing, I don't have to commit myself to this earth, to
Because
this
it's not your
journey.
home.
Right. And so it's another place. And so
Definitely.
when we physically die, how our souls go to another earth? It goes to another, which is our body is made of the earth. So it's like, it's so vast that when you get to that point, you're like, oh my God, I keep repenting, and it's for missing the mark. It's like every week I feel like I've missed the mark because I've gone to another mark. And so it's not about the sin that we say, it's just missing the mark of what God is saying. So that's kind of where I am as far as these different churches. They're in different earths, they're in different mindsets, they're in different consciousness. This picture is so big. It's unreal. It's
Right.
so big. And to be chosen to take this journey wherever it goes.
Isn't it exciting now?
Yes, this is not just it. We so worried about dying when we should be so concerned about leveling up to the next space. And
Mm-hmm.
if this land dies out, then my soul is going somewhere else, and then
Right.
I'm going to be going. It's just an ongoing. It's never ending.
Never
So
ending.
we're thinking that death is it, and you go
No,
to heaven, and that's it. There are heavens, and those are states.
that's right.
The United States got that from the word of God. There are different states, so there has to be different earths.
See, okay. All right. See, you don't open up something now. So, okay. All right. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell her. Okay. So, the reason why, you know, everything kind of starts to click is because of awakening. So, you see, why do they call it states, and why do they call it countries, and why do they call it regions, and why do they call it planes?
Mhm.
And, so
Yes, there are multiple herbs because whenever okay, because of the human design and because of the lower vibrational frequencies, and we yield to those, that whatever vibrational frequency you are riding, when, let's say, okay, like when you play in the video game, when you play in the video games,
Mm-hmm.
and you die, right? You got to
Right.
start over again.
Right.
So, but if you win that level, then you go to another level of the
Right.
game, right?
Right.
So when you die, you got to start over. But you
Right.
don't start, you start right where you died. The other
Right.
person went to another level,
Right.
they got another player, and you got to play whoever's at that level where you are. So when
Right.
you die, when this body stops, then your soul, your spirit transits from this space and goes to another earth, where frequency, the vibration of what you're riding on, and you start the game all over again.
Yeah.
That's why
In a new state, in a new earth, in a
in
new
that state,
heaven.
right? And you have to. That's why life is a game. You got to know how to play it. So when you realize that it's a game, and the way you play it is you playing it by adopting God's way of playing it, and not that
Right.
way of playing by lying, cheating, kidding. See all the commandment. When you break the commandments, you lose the game, and you gotta start all over again. So
Mm-hmm.
reincarnation, and you get to come back, and then that's why things when you start to wake up, you start realizing, I've been here before. All this stuff starts to click. And then when you do that, then that's when you really onto something, because that's when you can really start allowing yourself to be open to receive, and go, okay, all right, help me realize what's going on here. And then that's when the trials and the tribulations, and people think you're going through so much. No, it's because you're having to go through these cycles so that you can get through those and learn and grow and evolve, so that you can get to the next level. And when you get to the next level, it's more challenging, but you're also more equipped because you've mastered one level. So now you got to go to another level. And then if you keep living, thank you, mama. Hey, mom. When you keep living, then you level up, and you go to another level right here in this plane, in this game. And then the next thing you know, you keep going, you going, going. Next thing you know, if you no longer exist in this plane, you're gonna go to it. That's why they say, "Oh, she's gone on to a better place."
Mm-hmm.
You go
And
to a
that's
better place.
really, and they really just repeat that because that's what they heard. But if you get the fullness of that, they have going on to a better place, because death is really a graduation and an elevation that your purpose has been completed. And it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you were created with purpose. And so once your purpose has been completed, there's no need for you to be in this realm. It's time for you to level up to another realm and complete another reassigned purpose. That's why this is eternal. That is why God is always saying, I am eternity. I am infinite. If it's infinite, there's no beginning and no ending.
No
It
ending.
only so we continue to evolve, and we go on and on. And when you get that kind of mentality, yes, you're sad when people are going away from you in the physical, but you're also excited that they're on a different plane and they've been elevated to a different purpose. That's the only reason we're here, is to fulfill our purpose. We're not here to the lollygag and just do nothing. We're here purposely. And no matter who you are, you have a purpose. I don't care what they say about you. I don't care how many drugs you've taken. I don't care how much alcohol you drank. I don't care how many people you slept with. There's a purpose for all of your pain. There's a purpose for everything that you have done. So we've got to stop looking at ourselves based on what we've done, because that's just gone. And then you
Well,
can do about it.
yeah, and the great thing about it, see, is that everyone's story is their own story, right?
Yeah.
Some people, you're either a student or a teacher. So when you realize what part of the play, what part you're playing,
then you can really learn to vacillate back and forth, because sometimes you can be a student, sometimes you can be a teacher. When
And
I
I
was
think
on
it's a
drugs,
cycle on that too.
yeah, it is. Because when I was smoking crack, I was somebody's teacher.
Yeah.
I was teaching somebody. Oh my God, look at Vanessa. 6:30 in the morning, looking all crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and maybe that person said, okay, and they went on a better path, right?
Right.
So
Right.
you're either a student or a teacher, and when you realize what part you're playing, then you can navigate through life a lot much easier, and just start to realize, hey, that's why I really stress to, you know, make it an ultimate priority to always be in a state of frequency, a high vibrational state of being, because we don't know when it'd be like, oh, game's over, you know. So, but if you know that you are vibrating in you're on a good frequency of love and joy and gratitude and all these high vibrational levels of awareness, then because we don't know the day of the hour, right? So when it's over, we get to go to a better place. Either we go to a better place or we go to another place on where we're vibrating, right? And we have to go through and play the game again. When we go to a better place, we're still playing a game, but we've leveled up.
Yeah.
So I didn't know we were going to talk about that, but it's all a part of the plan.
And it's all part of the light coming forth, shining on. I'm not so convinced anymore that darkness is a bad place, because if I'm light, then there's never darkness. It's the way people have told me to see it. So if I'm going in a dark place, I'm going there to light the place up. I'm not going there to make it darker. But when you know that, then the things that you're facing, you no longer categorize so much as good or bad or light or darkness. You just walk it because this is your purpose. And no matter what state it's in, you have come as a solution to the state. So when you were saying you were a teacher as smoking crack, I never smoked drugs. That wasn't my purpose. I probably couldn't have made it through that. But you have come out that way because you was equipped for that. But when people saying, oh, that was a dark place, that was Vanessa's dark place, that was Vanessa's lighting, where she was going to light the place.
That was the part I was playing in my life story.
So it's like we're so judgmental about the spots that people are in, or their steps where they are. And then we just don't know that we're not encouraging them to make it out. We're talking about them not making it out. We're talking about the problem. And we're encouraging them to be called an addict, or we're encouraging them to be called an alcoholic, or whatever it is. But we have to, being a light is a lot of responsibility.
And we're going to wrap this up. But that's why it's so important, dear hearts, to look at the person, look at their heart. And the only way you'll be able to see into a person is if you are enlightened.
Right.
But if you in the dark, you're going to think that coat over there on that chair is a boogeyman. When actually it's just a coat draped over a chair. Right. Because you in the dark. But if you got the light on, you can see clearly what's over in that corner. So what I'm alluding to is this: when you are enlightened, you can see into someone's heart.
Yes.
And that, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, is the perspective that Christ had when he existed here.
Yeah.
He was able to see into people's hearts. And that's why the people who weren't enlightened, they couldn't dig him. They couldn't get it. And they wanted to kill him and get rid of him because what is he doing? They couldn't see because they weren't at his level, at his state of awareness.
So when people can't relate to you, that's okay. Just go on. Just let them go, because you'd be like, okay, fine. Yeah, and and the next thing you know, you just keep vibrating. You'll level up. Next thing you know, you haven't seen that person, you haven't heard from that person, because you are in another level of awareness, and it's like you're in another dimension. You really are.
And this, when we talk about enlightenment, we're talking about lighten up. I mean, we're talking about the light, but we're also talking about light, being light. God says, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So we're walking too hard. We're trying too hard. We're doing too much. And all we have to do is just go in and know who you are.
Right.
I mean,
and stop trying to save everybody.
So it's like, lighten up, laugh a little. Yeah, be if laughter is a medicine, maybe that's why so many folks sick, because ain't nobody laughing. So lighten up, tell a joke, listen to something funny.
Right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to take a station break. When we come back, we're going to be diving into the church of Sardis, the dead church. That's what we're calling it. So
why you call Sardis dead? I'll let you answer that when you come back.
Okay, I will. Stay tuned.
The Ride Along with Vanessa morning show streams Fridays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Stay in Love TV.
Welcome. You have just entered today's Michelle Out. We provide you with insight that's needed to take a deeper look into your consciousness and provide tools that will open up the door to your higher self. Get ready for a now awakening. Remember, once you go in, you'll never be without.
Get your copy of Mental Equation, available on Amazon and on Stay in Love TV. Today's Michelleology.
That's right. Get your copy of today's Mental Equation, available on Amazon and on StayInLoveTV.com/today's Michelleology. You can get the copy of the book and order it.
Yeah, you need to get that.
Get the book. Get the book. Get the book.
Get it. Get it. Get it.
Get the book. Get the book. Get the book. Get the book.
So now we're talking about Sardis. I want to know why you call them the dead church.
Well, because, we got the scriptures right here. What are the scriptures right here? Revelation 3. Because they had a reputation, okay, of being alive. And I just researched about Sardis, and I'm gonna deviate. Sardis, that's where they first invented it's coins. That's where they first started making coins, money. Mm-hmm. They were so prosperous and successful to the point where they had the appearance of being alive, of being a prosperous church and all of that, but they were dead.
Okay, well, let's read it and let's talk about it.
Okay. It says, these are the words of him who holds the seven spirits of God and the seven stars. He says, I know your deeds. You have a reputation of being alive, but you are dead. Wake up, strengthen what remains and is about to die. For I have found your deeds unfinished in the sight of my God. Remember, therefore, what you have received and heard. Hold it fast and repent. But if you do not wake up, I will come like a thief, and you will not know what time I will come to you. Yet you have a few people, there's a few of them in Sardis, who have not soiled their clothes. They will walk with me dressed in white, for they are worthy. The one who is victorious will, like them, be dressed in white. I will never blot out the name of the person from the book of life, but will acknowledge that name before my Father and his angels. Whoever has ears, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Revelation 3, 1-6.
So everybody was not dead.
No.
You had some people that were awake. And so when we begin to look at the divisions of the mind, there are times in your walk that you're unconscious, and then there are times in your walk that you're conscious. And most of the time when you're in your walk, when you're unconscious, you feel like what you have is not enough to continue your journey. And so uh, the word says he told them to strengthen what is left. You might not have did everything right, but strengthen what's left, because all you need is a small seed, because everything is in the seed. And so a lot of times we get discouraged because we took a wrong turn and we think that's our destiny. But God has always allowed us to make a U-turn and come back and redo it, like you were talking about those levels of the game. It's not that you're out of the game, it's just that you made some decisions on that particular level or that particular mind that's going to cause you to go back. And I always say we never fail, but we find another way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you keep doing the same thing on that level, you're going to get the same results.
Right.
So we can't find ourselves all down on the failure, what we call failure, but going in and getting a solution. Okay, so I messed up that time, so let me do it a different way.
Right.
So I kind of feel like Sardis is showing us that we have another chance and another chance and another chance. And so a lot of people feel like they failed because it didn't go the way they thought it should go.
Yeah, and that's I mean, that's why, well, thank you, Dr. Wayne. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, see? So when you start to realize, wait a minute, it didn't go this way because it's not a part of the plan. See? Or maybe it was a part of the plan. See, like I said, we're either students or teachers.
And God doesn't hold any good gift from you.
Right.
So if something did not go through, that wasn't your best way. Your steps have been ordered. So if that didn't go through your step, you may have stepped out.
I
Then get back in
disagree,
line.
Carlos. I disagree. We're going to disagree on that now, because I think that it's a part, it's a part of the story. It's a part of your story. Even when you think you failed something, if you are walking in God, you know what I mean? If you are connected to God, even when you think you made a mistake, like you say, you're a light. So if let's say God is the man and you're the lantern, right? Mm-hmm. So he's taking you into all of these dark places because you are a light, and mm-hmm. you're the light. So you kind of you don't know where you're supposed to go, but you're being guided, right? And God is the hand that's taking the lantern, all in these dark places and shining light in dark places, and you don't even know what type of influence that you are making. So even if you think, oh man, I was on that job for 4 weeks, why was I even there?
So the key thing is what you're thinking. So what I was saying was, you think you have failed, mm-hmm. but you haven't, because you're going on most of the time based on what somebody else said you should be going. They should say you should do this A, B, and C, and then you did that like A, B, and C, like they thought you were supposed to do it. So you think you fail, but like I said, the steps are ordered, whether they are left, right, up, down, round, they're ordered. Mm-hmm. So I don't think we get that our lives are ordered. It's like ordering a burger. I want extra pickles on it. I ordered it that way. So when I get it and the order is not right, I go back. This is not what I ordered, but God has ordered it.
Yep.
So unless we get a mindset that the way that I'm going, God has ordered it for me because I'm a messenger. Mm-hmm. And I might be going through a mess, but you can't be a message until you age in the mess. So he has allowed us to be that message. Mm-hmm. Everybody can't sit on here and say they smoke crack. and be all right with what they're saying because they know that was in the plan. Now, everybody not gonna believe. Oh, you mean God wanted her to smoke crack? That's
Yeah,
not
part of
what
my story. I agree to it. I agree to it.
right. But he's
I know that.
saying there is somebody that you made an impact on while doing that. Unless you were smoking crack, you would have never reached that person because they wouldn't have come the way that you were going.
We don't know.
Right.
All I know is I used to get high and we used to be sitting around and start talking about God and angels and spirits and scaring the hell out of everybody, and then they throw me out of the party.
And I have another friend that she was smoking crack too, but she would also minister to people when she was doing that. And people, God is not just saying you have to go to church to hear something. Everybody's not going to go in a building. And so you have to allow you have to have soldiers that are going on that kind of battlefield to reach whoever. God leaves the 99 to go to that one. So we always going to the 99 and forget about that one.
It's and that's why we can't be judging or nothing. And I mean, I don't want to get into all that, but I just chose to that's why I'm not a part of that type of church anymore. They didn't get it. They didn't get it. But it ain't over till it's over. And I'm seeing some things out there where people, they're starting to realize that they and I'm starting to see, because how some of them, you can see what state they are based on the 7 churches. I'm looking at them, right? I see one, because there's a few of them in there now that are part of Sardis that are, there's some that are there and they haven't sold their clothes.
Right.
And they'll never be, I love that part. I will never blot out the name of that person from the book of life. See, we be trying to throw people in all kind of hells and everything. Right. And don't even be knowing.
And that's why I was saying we're judgmental of what a person is. It's what they're supposed to be doing. Stop trying to stop people from what they're supposed to be doing. God has them. So we try to stop people, and it's ridiculous.
And stop trying to tell people how to play their game.
Right, because that's your journey. That's your way. And that's your ego trying to figure it out. And that's what I'm working on, is stop trying to figure out the way that other people should be going. You stay in your own lane, and you don't even supposed to be figure out where you're supposed to be going. You're just supposed to be listening and hearing and then obeying and walking in whatever God is saying to you.
And always. So Sardis, he said, if you don't wake up, I'm gonna come like a thief in the night. You're dead. Why are they dead? Because they got caught up. And this is something I noticed before I left the church. I used to go in there and I used to look, and these poor blessed people. I mean, this is what angers me so much about how the whore of Babylon has disillusioned and turned the majority of these churches into prostitutes. They got them so delusional and brainwashed. These poor people who believe in God and seeking God, and they were brainwashed and they were conditioned into thinking that they adopted this method and this practice, yet saw no victory in their life.
Yeah.
And 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. And you can just see them just dragging, coming on in. No victory in their life whatsoever. No liberty in their life whatsoever. And I got to looking at them, I'm like, something wrong with this. And when I started, that's when things started to shift for me. But they're dead. And it's like, they know they have a reputation of being alive, but they dead. And those poor dear hearts of people, that's what angers me about so much.
And that's why I say what I want to say and what I've been told to say on ride-alongs and stuff, because I'm just like, I'm just, no, this is not, no, leave, because the people that weren't liberated, and they're burdened and they bound, and because they're okay, they have adopted a practice that is designed to not be successful. They've adopted a method and put it and wonder why they're not victorious. I was there. That method, that practice of doing all this and saying all that and all that, but not really getting down to the root cause of where I needed to get to in order to experience liberty and victory. So yeah, I understand that. Doing all that and just, I mean, what really frustrated me, Carlos, was all those years I was like, wait a minute, something ain't right here. And I really believe, because of my job being in corporate America and the field I'm in and stuff, it helped me to kind of see things differently, because I was like, wait a minute. You don't solve a problem I'm like, wait a minute. If you keep doing the same thing over and it's not working, you need to change. So I started questioning all this stuff because of my training and stuff that I was getting on my job and in school. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wait a minute now. What? So,
but I really know that when he said, I'm coming like a thief in the night, that you won't be aware that I'm coming to save you from something, or you won't be aware that I have something for you, because you're in that mindset, or you're in that way of what you think you should be in. And so I'm coming. It's like, be ready. Like the bride has to be ready for that to happen. And so it's like, aren't we tired of being dead and sleep and crazy? And
all I know is I got tired of going through those motions and not experiencing victory. And I knew something was wrong.
Right.
I knew something was wrong. I was like, wait a minute now. If you're so amazing, what's up? Because this ain't right. What is it about me? Not everybody else, but what is it about me that I need to get into alignment so that I can experience victory? All this victory I've been hearing and doing all this, And I know that was a part of my story, right?
Right.
I got to that space where I was just like, no. And see, this is the thing. You have to be courageous enough to walk away from whatever it is you need to walk away from in order to get back in alignment.
Let me tell you, today I heard a well-known minister, big church. He said, I want y'all to throw away all the tapes.
I'm Creflo. I know. I saw it too. Yeah, Creflo.
He said, I'm confessing, I did not teach you properly about tithing and offering. I wasn't going to say his name.
Yeah, I'm saying, praise the Lord for Creflo. I'm telling you, let me tell you something. People trying to judge and all that kind of stuff. Everybody got their own journey, right?
Yes, and he was courageous enough. Because it's some stuff I said before I denounced and said,
we all have sinned. We all have missed the mark and fallen short of the glory. And people
take responsibility.
Yeah, and people he ought to get that money back. They say he ought to get that money back. Look, let me tell you something. All the money.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Please, that's then and there. That's let me tell you something. It shouldn't be about all that.
Right.
It's about his salvation of his mentality, so that he can level up.
See, people really don't want you to correct yourself because they're not correcting themselves.
He stole our money. No, he didn't.
So when he shined that light that he's taking the responsibility for that, then somebody who's not going to take the responsibility has to have a judgmental thought about it. So I don't know what he said or what he didn't say. My thing is, I'm looking at what he just said. He said he made a mistake and he's making correction. Don't listen to what I said. Listen to what I'm saying. That, I don't care how much money they say he got, he stole, he didn't or he did. I'm saying the man has come to the mark to say, I made a mistake. Please accept my apology.
It should be all.
Now that's part of the dead folks. Those were the dead folks in Sardis that said, well, Give everybody their money back.
Yeah.
You know.
But and see, the great thing about it is that to have the courage.
Yes.
See, when you admit I have a drinking problem,
Yeah.
then victory can come in your life.
Right, right.
When you can admit it, that's the first step. Admit it. I made a mistake. Maybe I am wrong. I am wrong. I admit it. I'm not gonna say maybe. I was wrong. That's the first step. And then God can do some amazing things in your life when you finally admit it. Accept, admit, and allow God to move in your life. And when you do that, oh my goodness. Because see, he knows me in the last days. He knows. He's noticed. He's like, wait a minute. And you know what? Somebody probably showed him some TikToks and some YouTubes. And he probably started, because look at Carlton Pearson. I'm still believing for Carlton to be on the show. Bishop, if you're out there, I'm beckoning you to be on the show before we get up out of here. I would love to just have you on the show, Bishop Carlton Pearson. Thank you. So, he know we in the last days. And it's amazing because we ain't heard from a lot of them now.
Oh yeah, that was just the beginning, because in this period of reversing and turning around, you have to walk. It's like you're going to have, every knee is going to have to bow to the Christ consciousness. It is not an option at this point. It is like, they're talking about the CERN and the black hole and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're seeing it in a negative light.
Honey.
Today I saw some things about the black hole that has nothing to do with anything negative. It's a setup, man. I'm done.
And the great thing about it is their heart is that people are like trying to get you to ride. I'm all like, look, I ain't riding that wave. I'm right here. And
wherever it is,
eating my popcorn.
Whatever it is that's happening, people are so on that negative frequency.
Yeah,
I just see God turning evil into live. If you look at evil as EVIL, you turn it around as live. We are so focused and just so focused on that negative frequency that every time somebody says they have an intention to try to do something evil, what was meant for evil, God can turn it around to good. So I'm just saying we need to be open.
If see, here's the thing. If you own that vibration, if you own that frequency, right? Because see, if you're called out, so if you are if you ride that wave and that frequency of fear, and they telling you evil, that's what you're gonna experience, Jack. I'm just telling you. And I'm telling people, that's why you don't watch that stuff. It's a separation happening. It's a separation. So if you can choose to be like, oh, it's evil and this, that. Okay, y'all go on by and do that. I'm gonna be over here because I know what it is.
The word CERN means to separate and decide. So it's still an opportunity.
I didn't know that.
Separate or decide. So it's still giving you an opportunity to bow to the cross consciousness. I believe God up until the last second, up whatever it is, if it's a second, gives you that opportunity, because no creator wants his creation not to be with them. So
them people that be in the movie that stay to the credits. That's gonna be me. The whole spirit gonna be going, Vanessa, come on, the world is crumbling. Come on, but wait, I want to see it. Come on, let's go. That was my dream. I had that dream last year. We wrapped it up. I had that dream last year, and I was in this house, and I came out, and back here, right here's the kitchen, and then back here the bedroom's over here, and it comes out in this back door, and then it goes out to the patio. And I came out of that back door, and something grabbed me by my arm, and it was taking me out. And I looked up, and I saw these different earths, like 4 or 5 of them, and there was lights shooting up, and I knew that they were souls going up to different earths, versions of earths. And I looked up, and I woke up. I'm telling you, and I still have my white car.
Mhm.
And I looked and I saw my car and I thought about, oh, my car. I thought about that, right? But then I woke up. So that's how I know I'm going to be here till the credits rolling. And something, come on, let's go, girl. Let's go to the next earth. Let's go. So choose ye this day, people, dear hearts, ladies and gentlemen, on this 4th of July Eve. Choose this day. Do not rest in fear. Rest in faith and knowing that your redemption has drawn nigh. Because it's here. It's here. And if it don't happen, guess what? I'm gonna wake up and be in a better timeline. So I win either way. If the
Right.
world blow up and they come get me, I'm going to a better place. If not, I can wake up on July 5th, Tuesday, because I gotta work. I'm gonna wake up and I'll be in a better timeline. I may walk into a promotion next week. I don't know. If I'm gonna still be here, it's all gonna be good. If I'm not gonna be here and we get I'm going to another better earth, a new heaven and a new earth.
You can't lose.
I'll be here, I'm doing a better timeline.
You can't lose.
I can't lose.
It's
baby.
not an option. It's not an option to lose.
Can't lose.
Reverend Knight say you can't lose with the stuff I use.
Get on the Lord's side, Derek. Get on the Lord's side, people. Get on the side of love. Get on the side of love. Yes, yes, yes. Woo-wee. Please wake up, dear hearts. Please wake up. Please wake up. Spiritually speaking and awakening. If we are still here, we're going to still be here. We're going to be in another timeline.
Oh.
I'm like, woo.
You know, and it may sound crazy, but I don't care. It's
I
like
don't
I'm not full of care about anything anymore. So I'm just riding the wave and the frequency. I am excited. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not worrying myself about knowing. I know what I know, and that I know, I'll hold on to it until I know something else.
I'm just going, we don't know, but I do know this. I know what love feels like.
Yeah.
I don't know if Christ was real, if we was real. I don't even know if we real, but I do know this. I know that what love feels like. And I choose to stay in this space of love and joy, because the Bible says that the joy, what's it?
The joy of the
For
Lord.
the Lord is my strength.
Yeah.
So I just choose to be here. And, we don't know. We don't know. Well, the Bible said, no, well, we don't know. I don't know. I mean, I be looking at these YouTube videos, people be fussing about, well, they were talking about Creflo. This, the Bible says this and this and that. I'm like, Lord have mercy. That's just on the level of where they are. That judgmental state. Why? Because of what they've been conditioned by the whore of Babylon that's done infiltrated the Bible and deceived all these people. It said, Revelation, read it. They deceived and delusioned by what they were reading and what they've been conditioned to believe and all those practices.
But I just know that the victory is theirs for choosing, because I was in that spot. Ooh, I was in that spot.
Me too.
Oh, I was in that spot. And I have compassion that, wow,
yes, I
God brought me out and God woke me up, that I'm just knowing that so many people are going to be awakened between now and whatever they're calling the CERN or whatever. It's to me, I just see all of a sudden like a mass, like wake up, like I see that, and I'm excited because I have a desire for people to wake up in their own purpose and will, and just enjoy the trip.
Enjoy the trip, because that's what it is. It's a trip, and we chose to come down here. And Jesus told us, he said, look, this is my interpretation. That place ain't no joke. So I got to go.
Yeah.
So, but when I go, my spirit gonna be here to assist you all.
You equip.
That influence, that energy, that Christ consciousness energy. That's why he had to leave. He said, I got my spirit though will be with you. So, and it'll comfort you. And so,
and he only left out of his flesh. He didn't really leave. That's it.
that's all.
So he just say leave out of it. So maybe in Sardis they needed to die.
Yeah.
So that they
Because
could
what's the next church we going to next week? We getting ready to dive into another part of the ocean of Revelation.
Philadelphia.
Yeah. My
Going to
favorite boy.
Philadelphia.
We going to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. We going to Philadelphia already?
Yeah.
Wow. We almost done.
Yes.
Yeah. So next week, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to Philadelphia. We're going to the Church of Love. Yep, I get it now. Yep, it is 7 states of awareness. It's just yep, it really is. Philadelphia. If you can make it to Philadelphia. Wait, what other church? What the other church at? That's another one.
Laodicea.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was another one. Okay. All right. So please wake up. Please wake up. My ears are ringing. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for tuning in tonight to Spiritually Speaking and Awakening. Very relaxed state tonight. I've been sitting here chewing on let me show you what I've been chewing on. I'm on vacation.
All through the broadcast.
I guess it's like tomorrow. I know. I'm just having a good time. I enjoy when I get to take these little mini breaks, when I don't have to work. I'm like, yeah. But so thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching and caring. And thank you for your support in any way possible that you're able to provide to us. We want to ask that you continue to support the network in any way you can. We want to thank you. Tune in tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today's Michelleology with the great Michelle Massey Washington right here on Stay in Love TV. I'm Vanessa Klinger, your intuitive life strategist and life coach motivator.
And I'm Michelle, your motivator and your spiritual evolutionist. Namaste. I bow to the divine presence you. And listen.
What, girl?
Listen. Do not get intoxicated tomorrow because you need to be awake. I'm telling you, they say the 5th, but you know not the day or the hour.
Right. You don't know. You don't know that hour. And you want to make sure you're on a good vibrational.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, people may be lying to y'all. Alcohol is a depressant. And for a few minutes, you think you just, next thing you know, you like, oh my gosh, it's a depressant. I know.
Stay watchful. Just be watchful.
Be sober. And the Bible even tell y'all, be sober, be vigilant.
And watch the sky. I've been watching the sky. Y'all been watching. All right, we out of here.
However way it happens, ladies and gentlemen, be sober, be vigilant, but also make sure that you are in a good state of awareness, a vibration of love and joy and gratitude for your existence and for your creator. So I just ask you guys to do that. So have fun tomorrow with your family, your loved ones, your pets, whoever way you experience, celebrate the 4th of July and continue just to, and if you want to meditate, I'm going to be meditating.
Well, I've been there all day. I wanted to do what I usually do, but I couldn't. I had to just sit still and just receive, because there's a lot of downloads that were coming.
Yeah,
and
it's coming.
It's like I'm preparing. Mm-hmm. That's why I say it may not be the 5th, maybe the 4th. I celebrate that as Independence Day and the real independence.
Yeah. Well, and so this was yeah. So
Woo!
I will be remembering my sister Cosette. Hey, Cosette. She went to another dimension on the 4th of July in 2013. So yeah, maybe she'll come see me tonight. But you guys have an amazing week. Again, tune in tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Stay in Love TV for today's Michelleology. Let's do this again. Let's sign up again. I'm Vanessa Klinger, your intuitive life strategist and life coach and motivator.
I would share your motivator, your spiritual evolutionist. Namaste. I'm out to the divine presence in you for real this time.
For real, for real. Good night, everyone. Stay in love. Stay in Love TV is your production to distribution solution to getting your message seen and heard. Having your own TV show with Stay in Love TV. Love TV gives you the power to share your message with the world. Stop watching TV and start being watched on TV. Stay in Love TV offers real-time multicasting, all with one click. This opportunity puts you on the world stage with an audience of over 200 million. In addition to your low monthly subscription fees, you will also receive monthly network coaching and training from the network itself to ensure that before your first show premieres, you are set up for success. We at Stay in Love TV bring over 20 years experience in sales, marketing, advertising, and business development. Stay in Love TV, purposeful entertainment driven by love, empowered with passion.